Everybody, welcome back. It is week 33. It is also the 8-month recap of Duffs to Darts. I am Ed. As always, I am taking you on my weekly journey to get from a 20 to a 10 handicap in 10 months to the best of my ability on a budget, essentially. So, if this is your first time checking out Duffs to Darts, basically the whole project scope is that I'm a normal guy. You know, I do contribute and write for Golficity, but I have a normal day job. I've got 2 kids. I work an hour from my office, so I spend an hour each day driving to work, an hour each day driving home. That's 2 hours, 8 hours a day at the office. When am I going to find time to practice with all that going on? So the whole concept of this project is it possible for a normal person who does not work at a golf course, who does not have access to a golf course 24/7, 7 days a week, is it possible for them in their own home, on their lunch break, to find time to practice, to get their game improved, to cut their handicap from a 20 to a 10 in a year or in a season if they put in the work? So, let's recap last week, what I've done, talk about August, month 8, and then what the plan is for September going forward. So, with week 33, I was finishing up my birdie ball review, which I'll put a link down below as well. So there was a lot of birdie ball practice going on, kind of just finishing up some shots with that, but because I've got it, I'm really able to, hit any club I want on my lunch break. I go out almost every single day, as long as the weather is nice. If it's not raining or if it's not blowing 30 miles an hour, I will go out and part of my parking lot where there aren't any cars parked, and I will put up a flag or I'll hit towards a light pole. And I can hit 6, 7, 8, 9, 4-iron. Doesn't really matter what I hit, but the birdie ball, I can hit whatever I want. So I spent one day hitting 6 irons, I hit 8 irons another day. I think I hit 9 iron as well. But that's really opened up my practice time to allow me to work on my swing consistently, where I don't have to worry about breaking anything. On my lunch breaks is really the big practice time. 4 or 5 days a week, I'm able on my lunch break to go outside and practice, and that's kind of the heart of it. I eat at my desk. I have an office job, so I'll eat while I'm working, and I spend my lunch break practicing. So I've really started to hone in that shot shape and be able to get that consistent swing on point, to the point of where I took my kids over to the high school parking lot across the street from my apartment, because as you can see, I'm in a balcony, not at a, not a nice background, it's a brick wall. So I took them to the parking lot across the street from my apartment, and they were riding their bikes, and I told them that if they were to catch one of the birdie balls in the air, that I would let them have ice cream when we went back home. Little did they know that they were going to get ice cream either way, but, I was practicing, I was putting in work. I was with a 6 iron, and it was about, 40, 50 yards away, and little man came through. Check it out.
Here he comes. Right at you, buddy. Yeah! Yes!
So, as you see, little man caught it. He was super excited. I was probably just as excited that he caught it. But in their minds, they just earned ice cream. So, took them inside and they each got a bowl of ice cream. So, they're pretty happy. For the week as well, that 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week putting practice and chipping practice inside the apartment, that's really paid dividends over the course of the year. We're going to talk about that a little bit in a second, but continuing with that, that's basically it for the week. I didn't have time to go to a course and play. It was just practice this week. For month 8, so now we're at the, let's recap August. As far as the goals go, I was to play 9 holes, play 18 holes, shoot 85 or lower on that 18-hole round, 30 minutes a day of putting, less than 5 lost balls over the course of that time. So, and there's also supposed to go to a driving range and do a dedicated short game practice. Dedicated short game practice didn't happen at a driving range. It happened at work on my lunch breaks. I would, I go and I'll put a flag about 30 yards away, 30, 40 yards, and I hit approach shots in, or I'll go to the back of the parking lot and I'll hit chip shots. Same with at night in the apartment. I'll put the putt out in the middle of the living room floor, and I'll chip, maybe 10, 15 feet and try to keep them around a little, hula hoop size circle. So it's been helping with that. So technically I didn't hit the goal, but I did work on short game all month. Putting 30 minutes a day, did that. Instead of playing 18 holes, I just did not have the time to do that. So playing 18 holes and shooting 85 or lower, that's a miss. I didn't hit that. What I did do is I played 9 holes twice, 2 separate occasions. Those 2 9-hole rounds, I shot a +7, and that's with 2 lost balls. So I lost 2 balls on that round, and I still shot 7 over. So I was hitting greens in regulation. I was getting up and down a lot of 1-putts that day. And then I shot 2 over, which is my best ever 9-hole score. Didn't lose a single ball that day. Kept everything in play. And played smart. So, we're at the end of the project. This is month 8. We're going into month 9. And all the work all year has really kind of starting to come together to the point of where I'm getting really confident that I'm going to hit this goal and it's going to be a success, which I hope it is, because that was the whole purpose of this project. 33 weeks in a row of doing these videos, you see them all on my channel, saying that I'm going to cut my handicap in half if I don't improve at all. It's not a waste of time, but it kind of makes me look like an ass. So, hoping we get there. With those rounds, the +2 and the +7, I actually hit the longest 3-wood I've ever hit in my life. This was on a second shot on a par 5. I hit it 252 yards off the grass, and I reached the green, the back of the green on a par 5. Putted it, inside the 3-foot circle for the chip shot, and then I ended up missing the birdie putt, which kind of sucked, but I ended up walking away with par out of there. So, really excited about that. For month 9, goals are pretty simple. They're not crazy or anything like that. It's to log 2 9-hole rounds of golf. One of those 9-hole rounds I wanted to be away from my home course. I logged most of these at the course up the road that, if you can't tell, quarter zip on, hat on, golf shirt on, shot scope on. I'm going to be heading off to the course when we're done with this. It's a Saturday. I'm going to take my son out and play. That's my home course. I want to log another 9-hole round at a course that I don't play all the time to kind of challenge myself a little bit, mix up the greens and the fairways and different practice. Log 1 18-hole round. That will happen on September 21st. I've already kind of set the time aside with my wife, and I've got a pass to a golf course actually right by my office. So it's not going to go after work because I don't have time for that and daylight's getting shorter. It's going to go on Saturday. My mother-in-law Sandra gave it to me for Christmas, but we're at the end of the season. I got to use it, or lose it. So I'm going to go. I'm working on a collaboration to kind of bring in my buddy Chris McEwen, another writer with Golficity. It's cameraman Josh. Hopefully they've got time. And then if he's available, Adam Fonseca from Golf Unfiltered. It's another podcast. He's a Chicago guy. Hopefully he's able to go. We've tried to meet up a couple of times this year. Haven't been able to do it. So hopefully he's able to join me. Third goal is to continue 30 minutes a day of putting. That's the biggest thing, guys. With that, I have seen so much improvement with my putting. I make over 80% of my short putts in one putt. Medium range, I'm making those at a fairly decent clip, and long putts as well. I'm averaging around 2 putts or lower per hole. I mean, even on a long putt, if my proximity to the hole is far away, my lag putts are getting so close that I'm confident making those short putts. 30 minutes a day, buy a putt out. I've talked about this a lot. It's $30. Get the putt out mat if you want to. If you don't have already have a putting mat, it rolls flat every single time. Doesn't take up much space. You can putt while you're watching TV or watching a football game, which I will be doing a lot. Football season just started, even though my Bears offense decided not to show up against Green Bay. Still stings a little bit. So fourth goal is to play smart. Just playing smart, making sure that I'm taking the right club and doing the right thing. On a short par 4 where I can really muscle up and try to smash a driver 300 yards and reach the green in 1, hit a 3-wood, hit a controlled swing, and play it like it would be a longer par 4 and, get on the green in 2 and putt and get my par, possibly a birdie. If driver isn't working that day, if I'm not feeling it, hit a 3-wood. I've shown that I can hit it consistently and I can hit it consistently well. Got to keep that up. And a biggest thing, another as well, is don't hit your full distance of the club. It's just being smart. If I have an approach shot in that shot scope says is 80 yards, I know I can hit my gap wedge, a full swing gap wedge, 85, 90 yards. Why? Take the pitching wedge that I hit 110 and just do a short, half swing that's really controlled. Make sure that I do the fundamentals correctly. It's going to yield the same result, and I'll be on and I'll be putting versus, possibly shanking one out of bounds or off the other side of the green and walking away with a 6 or a 7. Just play smart. But that is it for the 8-month recap of Duffs to Darts. Hopefully you guys are inspired to work on your game. Hopefully you've been putting in the work as long as I have this year, or if not longer. If there's things that you've been doing, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. I hope that I'm encouraging you and motivating you guys to work on your own game. As always, guys, keep grinding.